Hey guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com doing a quick weekly news recap of all major MMO news announced at the beginning April 15th, 2019. This is episode number 196 of the recap, and the first bit of news this week is from My.com regarding Skyforge, which launched a new expansion this last week titled New Horizons, which is available now on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. New Horizons introduced a ton of new goodies to the fantasy sci-fi action MMORPG, but most notably includes the new Draconid race as well as a huge new map. In fact, the introduction of Terra, the newest world of Skyforge, is the largest in-game map addition to date. Also included in New Horizons are changes to scaling and divine specializations, which are designed to help new players and returning players catch up to veterans. If you've never played Skyforge, regardless of what others say about the game today, I say it's worth trying out. I love the class system because you can essentially level up every single class on a single character. It's a bit like Final Fantasy XIV in that regard, actually. And while the game has its problems, it's still worth checking out. Up next, some pretty big news for Star Wars The Old Republic. The game announced a brand new expansion titled Onslaught, which is launching free-to-play to all subscribers in September of 2019. There were actually rumors for a while now that Star Wars The Old Republic could be shutting down because it doesn't really receive the big update in a while, but this should put all those rumors to rest, at least for the foreseeable future. Onslaught introduced a lot of new things to the game, including an increased level cap, 2 new planets, new abilities, new story content, and a whole lot more. Specific details aren't really available too much just yet, but we'll learn more in the coming months. But yeah, Star Wars The Old Republic, brand new expansion coming out this September. Next up, Sandbox Fantasy MMORPG Albion Online went free to play this last week as scheduled, but it looks like the guys at Sandbox Interactive just didn't do a good job anticipating demand as the servers were under heavy load since the game went free to play. There were screenshots of people stuck in queue behind 4,000 plus players, which I guess is really a good problem to have, though some players were rubbed the wrong way because if you pay money for premium, you can actually skip those queues. Steam charts for the weekend shows that the game hit over 9,500 players online concurrently at once, and remember that this is on Steam alone. Albion got a huge boost from its free to play conversion. Time will tell though if those players will stick around long enough or not. I've said it before, I think this one's also worth trying, and it feels like Ultima Online or old school RuneScape, and that's not something you get from a lot of modern MMORPGs, so it's definitely a bit different. I'll move right along. A little bit of news for Lost Ark. South Korean developer Smilegate has apparently ramped up their hiring efforts for both a new project rumored to be Lost Ark Mobile, as well as a possible conversion of the PC version of the game to Unreal Engine 4, because currently Lost Ark is built on Unreal 3, but they're hiring Unreal 4 devs for the PC version as well. Lost Ark also announced a new class called the Lancemaster, which you can see in the video in the background. The game is doing well in South Korea, apparently, and while we still don't have any kind of release date for a Western version, I think we'll get an announcement for a Western release sometime this year, with a release coming in early 2020 or late 2019, but that's just my guess. Up next, Pearl Abyss had a few big announcements this week surrounding Black Desert Online. Firstly, the franchise has earned a cool $1 billion in revenue since launch, which is definitely not too shabby. They also announced that the PC version's Battle Royale mode called Shadow Arena has shut down as of April 10th. The content was kind of cool, but developers said it just took too much of their attention, which could have been better spent elsewhere. Pearl Abyss also announced that Black Desert Mobile will be launching globally in English sometime in 2019. No word on exactly when it's going to happen, but it's coming out in 2019. But BDO Mobile has been a huge hit in South Korea and Japan. The game looks beautiful and actually has the best character creation I've seen in any mobile game ever. It does have an autoplay system though, so we'll see how it does here in the West. Next, that's some pretty crazy news from Roblox. Yes, Roblox, the kids game where players can create their own minigames. They came out this weekend and said they announced that Roblox has surpassed 90 million monthly active users worldwide, which is an unbelievably impressive figure. And just to give you guys some context on that figure, League of Legends had 100 million monthly active users in its most popular year ever, back in 2017. And since then, League's revenues have gone down about 25%, so it puts their current monthly active player base around 75 million. So as is, Roblox is actually a bigger game than League of Legends. So yeah, who knew that Roblox was such a big game? I mean, I knew it was big, but not this big. Minecraft also announced it had about 90 million monthly active users back in October of last year, so look at both games are kind of neck and neck at the moment. It's nuts. I never knew Roblox was this big. Like I've been saying for a long time though, user-generated content in gaming is going to be huge. I think Roblox kind of proves just how effective it can be. Up next, Bless Online's developer NeoWiz Bless Studio is merging with its parent company NeoWiz, which may sound like a whole lot of nothing, but some people on our MMORPG have speculated that it could mean Bless Online and the PC would shut down in the near future. Well, I don't think that's necessarily the case. We do know that it won't have any impact on Bless Unleashed, which is still set to launch on consoles later this year. And given how different Bless Unleashed is and Bless Online are, it does make sense to actually close the PC version of the game and just relaunch and use the console version, because with how awful the PC version is, it could create some really weird brand confusion. The PC version of Bless only averages about 350 or so players online at any given time either, so NeoWiz wouldn't really be losing out on much by shutting it down at this point anyway. Next up, the previously announced Legends Reborn events started in Blade and Solo, but beyond that, NGSoft also announced that they'll be merging servers on April 24th with the purpose of unifying the raiding population in preparation for future content, end quote, which is actually an interesting way of putting it. I guess there's no other good way to announce server merges anyway, but this is as good as any. The 2 NA servers will be merged down into one, while the 3 European servers will also be merged down into one as well. So 1 EU server, 1 NA server. And again, these merges are all happening on the 24th, and while merges never sound good, having more players on a single server is always a better experience for players, in my opinion. The next and last news this week comes from Tencent and involves Monster Hunter Online, the Monster Hunter Online MMORPG, which is only available in China. Well, apparently Tencent is shutting it down. The game launched back in 2015, so it had a good 4 years of life, but the all new registrations are currently disabled, but anyone who has an account can keep playing until December 31st, 2019. While the game was China only, there were tons of guides online for Westerners to play it. But the only thing I remember from my time with Monster Hunter Online was that there was literal Chinese spyware built into the game. I remember literally getting Chinese shopping ads after I closed the game, and I installed it through Tencent's game launcher in China, so it's the official source. So it was really weird to see spyware bundled with a real game distributed by a giant company. But anyway, guys, rip Monster Hunter Online. Anyway, guys, that's it for MMO news this week. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the podcast. Later, guys.